hearing. But you need something in there. It needs something else. A fisherman, a person walking with their dog, a grandparent with a little 2-year-old walking. That would really work. But it's nice. It's sort of a static landscape because you're missing that one critical ingredient, like a person, or that fox that Brian Birchall is always photographing. If that fox you were running down the path, it would really work. Or if you had a lightning bolt coming down from the sky and hitting one of these trees. I mean, yeah, I'm being silly now, but I'm trying to get the message across that it's pleasant, but it's somewhat static. 23.
Corpus Christi.
Now, this looks like a technique rather than a pixelation.
I think you're right.
Am I right or wrong?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's... And I'm not sure why this particular treatment was given to... I think I want to have this sent to me, just to make sure.
Okay.
But I think it's a post-processing treatment, and I'm not sure why they chose this sort of half-tone press kind of post-processing applied to it. It tells a story, but it's more in the lines of a photojournalistic story that might make an interesting story in a newspaper. But for camera clubs, and unless you know somebody here, the treatment and I guess the bottom line is, would you want to make a big print of this and put it on your refrigerator and look at it for a month? And my answer is no. So I'm going to give this a 20.
Do you want to judge it again then?
I do want to judge it again. Let's give it a 0, and I want to judge it again to see what it, make sure the file is full.
There's another one. That's bad.
Nobody in our club would do that.
Of course not.
I just can't believe there's this many that have.
I know it.
This is crazy.
We got to write to the company and find out what's going on.
Or they're always changing the software.
Speeding
All
to
right.
Guatemala City.
What's the name of it?
Speeding to Guatemala City.
Okay. Very, very, you know, Kelly talks about if you want to take great pictures, go to great places, photograph great, interesting things. This is a great place. It's a great, interesting thing. It's pretty much got great lighting on it. I think what's bothering me about it, and I talked about this in a little mini field trip I led today, is it's something you would see walking by. And it's not showing you an unusual angle or dramatic angle or whatever. It's sort of like the shots they take of your car when you go get new auto insurance. It's a 3/4 view. And that's what this is. I would think about going really in tight with a wide angle on this bus. Really exaggerating the length of it. It's a great subject, like I said, great subject, great location, really very good lighting, but it's got a 15mm snapshot kind of look to it. 22.
Under the Dome.
My. Do I get extra points if I guess the church? It's a beautiful church. Absolutely beautiful church. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be pretty critical here. And so I'll still score well, but I'm going to be critical. you're shooting something that's for symmetry, and you don't have the symmetry perfect. By that I mean, you're cutting off right there where if you were having it equal and it was perfectly, and it's not dead centered, and you got more on this one than this one, and it's not far enough off that you did it deliberately. So it was sort of like sloppy composition in a sense. Don't feel bad by the term though. It's a great subject, great, really good technically. You have a good eye. You just got to be a little bit more anal in centering and making sure, looking through the view. I like live view for this reason. Really looking through and checking this edge versus this edge to make sure everything is absolutely equal if you're going to do it for that reason. And this, I think, is done for that reason. I'm still going to score this high, 26, but it would score higher if you were absolutely right on.
Blue jay.
Very nice bird, very nice bird. Beautiful capture of the bird itself. Falls off a little bit on the tail, but that's to be expected. Because if you got that tail sharp and hip sharp, you might have this too much in the background going on. This needs to be darkened down or taken right out. I'm not sure, it definitely needs to be darkened down if you don't take it out. And darkened down a lot. And unsharpened a lot. Because it's fighting for competition with him. You want your eye to stay on him, not come over here. And you could crop them out, you could clone them out, you could crop to right about there, and that would make them kind of tight. And there's a whole bunch of software ways you could do it. But you've got to deal with this issue here. And it's the bane of bird photographers, which is why I don't do much of it, because it drives me nuts. And then, you know, something like this, you really got to really look at it and burn this in. So again, it's not fighting for attention. Little aside, I've shot things like this, printed them like this, and then when you make the print, you spent, you know, $5, $10 on the materials for the ink and the paper, and you hold the print up, and all of a sudden you notice this, and you go, what the heck was I looking at on the monitor? So you just really, you know, when you get something like this, step away, you know, have a cup of coffee, give your eyes a break, give them time to refresh, then come back to it and double check it again, and look in all the corners for something like that. Or even if you have a second pair of eyes, like a critical wife like mine, she'll point it out to you. Beautiful shot of the bird though, 25. Now this looks like a problem. Because even the edges aren't sharp.
Canadian geese on the lagoon. Very, very contrasty lighting. Very contrasty lighting, and the background is very busy. And they're far enough apart, they're almost not connected. And again, this one is very close to the edge. It's more the busyness of the shot. I mean, all this distractions here that are really taken away from the image, which is here. And there's not much you can do about it in shooting, other than, you know, do what some bird photographers do. They get in a kayak, go out on the water, and shoot in at them so they get rid of all those distractions. That's what somebody like Bill Porter or Brian would do. Not me though, I'm not going in any boat with my camera here. Because of the busyness, I think it is sharp, it's properly exposed, but because of the busyness of the subject and The lack of separation of the subject from the background, 21.
Coot.
Made my point. Compared to this one. The only thing is that there's absolutely no, I can't really see any detail in here. And quotes, then my question is, do I want to see detail in there? Do I have to see detail in there? Maybe not. Not every shot needs absolute detail in the shadows. I'll tell you what I would like to see in the shot though. You see his eye there? I'd like to see it show up better in the reflection. Other than that, it's nicely done. 27.
My tiny bouquet.
I like the way this is done. It's very pretty, and the one flower is different enough that it really stands out. 27. I can appreciate a flower, even though I don't do them.
Roger Blow at twilight.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's a shame, because this is the kind of stuff I love.
And that looks just terrible. We gotta find out what's
yeah.
going on. Swear allegiance to a land that's free.
Oh, yeah. Boy. You know, it's a busy background. You know, I'm talking about, you're going to say to me, but look at that background, it's busy. But because of the selective focus and the treatment on the bird, the local sharpening and adjustments on the bird, he really stands out from that background. And he doesn't fight with the background. 29.
Coolness matters.
I'll tell you what's good, and I'll tell you what I don't like. It's good that you got 3 kids, and 3's always good to shoot. You know, it's the old rule of thirds. If you can get 3 of anything, it's better than 2. But the one child's half cut off by this child. You really can't see this child's face or know what he's doing compared to these. And this is a little bit distracting to me. And just, what are they doing? You know, they're just sitting around chatting, I guess. I don't know that it has that strong a subject interest. It's a nice capture in maybe in Vietnam, Thailand, or whatever. I could be totally wrong. It could be in San Francisco or Erie, Pennsylvania. But I'm guessing it's in one of the places like that. 22.
The wave.
That's bad.
This looks pixelated too.
A boy and his horse.
Very nice as far as the composition, the off-centeredness. Almost maybe a little bit in too tight, which is hard for me to believe I'm saying, because I like it in tight. It's a little bit bright here. I'd like to see this taken down a little bit. So again, it's not, so he stands out more. 27.
Birthday orchid.
Very pretty, very artistic. It's interesting that you have one that didn't open yet. So it almost gives you a focal point right at the end. I like the background, like the treatment. Great use of depth of field. 28.
Mr. Benson.
Mr. Benson has a lot of character, which I like. The bright window is a little bit distracting to me. Just burn it way down. I don't want to say crop, because then you crop, you gotta crop way in, and I don't think you can successfully crop it out. You just gotta darken it way down. And I like the angle of his body. I like the highlight, the catch light in the eye. It looks like he used partial felt flash. I could be wrong on that. It could be a reflector. It could be something natural. A trick that the Kodak photographers taught me years, literally decades ago, was when they shot a picture like this, they all wore white shirts so that they would create a catch light in the subject's eyes. Believe it or not, real bright white shirts that said Kodak on them. So when I do something like this, I wear a white shirt. But it works very nicely, 29. I might darken down this a little bit. I like it though. It has a lot of character.
St. Mary's Altar.
Okay. This in here is very nice. As far as the handling in here, it's good. Two issues. One, I want to see the top of this arch. I want to see where these connect to. I'm left hanging. I don't know, that these things ever meet. Psychologically, I should use my Gestalt theory and say, yeah, I know they meet, but I really want to see it. That's number one. That's minor. And I think if you would have tilted the camera up just a little bit, you would have got it, and then you would have got rid of this emptiness in the foreground. All down here, this does nothing for the picture. If you want to do HDR of it, then you could put some detail in there, but I still think it would be better either cropped right out or tilt the camera up just a hair more. Of course, then you have to deal with these convergences, which you can correct in Lightroom. 24.
Full moon over Dobbin's Landing.
This is great. Really nice black and white night shot. Really, really nice. You stop the lens down nicely, so you got the nice natural diaphragm created starburst from the lens diffraction of the iris diaphragm. I'm guessing it's real moon. It's not placed there. If you did place it there, you did a good job, so who cares? It works. Is there anything negative I can say about this? Not much. I might want it a little darker in here, maybe. I'm nitpicking. 29. Excellent, excellent shot.
Hangover in New York.
This needs cropping. All this, you could crop right here. Cut out 50% of the picture and your picture would get 50% stronger. It's an interesting story in a sense. The dog, you wonder, is that his dog? Is the dog probably being taken care of? Or did someone else just tie up the dog for the time being? Maybe it's the photographer's dog, I don't know. But it's way too bright down here and it's taken away from your eye. It needs to be cropped right in there. 20.
fall leaf Roma.
It's subtle. It's, I'm fighting with whether to say it's too centered or not. It's got space around it. Let me use the old hand cropping technique to see. It's nicely done. And your ability to get detail in that transilluminated leaf is excellent technically. 25.
Home stretch.
Okay, I've done a bunch of these too. I've done the Genesee steeplechase, the Willowdale steeplechase. This is good. This is good. A little bit, their face is a little bit blocked by the horse. That's a little bit problematic to me. You usually want to see the rider's full face, especially their eyes, usually. Sometimes you can get away with the blocking of the eyes, but I'm really wanting to see their eyes and I don't. This whole brightness here is an issue that needs to be taken care of. Really needs some local darkening down of the highlights to take them out. Also, it's probably kind of tight here. Got lots of room here, which is good, but really tight in here. Very good sports shot. But it's almost critical you get the eyes of the athlete to be able to see into the eyes of the athlete. And you might say, all right, but I do see the eyes. They're right there. He's the athlete. And it's true in a sense. 26.
Stormy sunset.
Okay, we've all seen beautiful skies like this. I saw one a week or two ago in my area that was absolutely gorgeous sky like this. And the thing is, you've got to get something as a strong foreground subject to put against that. We saw one earlier, I think I gave it a 30 with the water tower. That was the kind of strong subject that worked. These trees are not strong enough and they're way too far away from the sunset to work. They're way too far over on the edge. So you've got to, if this occurs again, you've got to find someplace. You got to go somewhere. You should have drove quickly over this way so you get the trees more over here. And then you could have more room over here. I see what you're trying. It's a miss though. 21.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go for first places.
We won't really know what's first place till we see the other images. Huh?
Right, yeah, this could change by the time.
This is bronze, Mr. Benson by Melinda Isaacson.
Really strong environmental portrait. Really nice.
Looks good.
Silver, home stretch by Tony Islam. Coot by Candy Filigi. Birthday Orchid by Kathy Maloney. Pleasant Ridge Water Tower by Kathy Welty.
Really strong, really strong.
Lights.
Very graphic. Very original.